Most of the 3,000 public servants going home will be temporary workers. A forensic investigation launched into the sewage plant fire. And in sports, the West Indies in a bid to square up the Kiwi series.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom. This is the CBC Evening News. Well, it appears that the majority of the 3,000 employees earmarked for retrenchment by government will be temporary workers. Confirmation of this from General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Dennis Clark, following talks between top officials of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations and Finance Minister Chris Sinclair to discuss next year's mass retrenchment. Mr. Clark says Mr. Sinclair has given further information pertaining to developments in the economy and what needs to be done.
You can't retrench other than the temporary workers because if you are not temporary, you will be appointed worker. You have security at tenure. So you can't retrench the appointed workers. So it is a situation where you will have to look at the temporary workers.
Mr. Clark says alternative proposals will be put on the table to the retrenchment plan advanced by government when it meets with public sector workers tomorrow.
The meeting tomorrow will basically inform the workers of alternative proposals that we have to submit to the Ministry of Civil Service and negotiate on their behalf. It's obvious a union at worth its salt would not want to see no workers go home, and our intention is to reduce that number as far as humanly possible. So our discussion will be centered around alternatives that we feel the government could implement without having to send home or retrench so many people.
CTUSAB President Cedric Murrell also told the media they sought clarification on the implications of the plan to send home workers by March and discussed how best member unions could respond. Mr. Murrell says the Executive Board of the Congress will meet tomorrow afternoon to discuss the issue in detail and will be reporting to the press either on Friday or Saturday. Officials of the Barbados Water Authority are conducting a forensic investigation to determine the cause of the fire yesterday at the sewage treatment plant in the city. That blaze triggered an evacuation in the Lakes Folly area after fears that chemicals used at the plant might have been on fire. Now, as it turned out, firefighters were able to contain it to one room on the upper deck of the plant, which involved no chemicals. A visit to the plant today revealed that it was in full operation. Senior engineer Hector Marshall says since the incident, they've been trying to find out what caused the fire. He says the clarifier, which treats the wastewater, was working and treatment has not stopped.
The wastewater treatment plant is still in operation. All the sewage that coming from the clients out there is being treated. There's no halt in the process of the wastewater treatment. Right now we're just awaiting forensics to come and deal with what happened yesterday at the waste fire.
A large number of people, particularly young adults, turned up at the Salvation Army in Bridgetown this afternoon for the organization's annual Christmas food hamper distribution. Ron Brathwaite was there and filed this report.
It was standing room only. The cramped church hall a clear indication of the demand for the 800 Christmas food hampers being distributed. Delivering the hampers were Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave and Salvation Army personnel, as the police band played Christmas music. And on the outside was the same, as residents of Reed Street and surrounding areas converged at the Salvation Army headquarters to get one of the 800 hampers being distributed. There were long lines. Some people sat patiently on the sidewalk, while others assembled in groups awaiting their turn. Things got chaotic at times. However, the mad rush was kept in check by police. All who received hampers were grateful for the Christmas gift.
I feel very good about it, that I live to see to get one. Because many people didn't live to get one today.
I'm very poor. I don't work, so I'm very thankful that I come down here and get a food hamper for my children. I'm very happy, I'm very proud, because I don't work nowhere, and I come for this here for my kid.
Officials say corporate Barbados has been very supportive to their cause, despite the trying economic times.
The majority of businesses recognize that there are people in our society who will not be able to help themselves. And so in our appeal, they've responded positively. And we have not only corporate, but other private citizens who have come on board and made special contributions.
In addition to the 800 hampers being distributed here today, officials say another 700 will be distributed at various divisional offices across the island. Ron Brathwaite, CBC News.
The Senate was united in its support for the Electric Light and Power Bill 2013, which came up for debate this morning. Senators across the political divide, as well as the independents, spoke highly of the bill. Minister in the Prime Minister's office, Senator Darcy Boyce, led off debate on the bill. He says in Barbados, almost everyone has access to electricity and businesses depend on a reliable supply. He says with this drive towards alternative energy, there must be a balance between all players involved.
What we have tried to do is to balance the demands of the various interest groups and try to come to a situation where we can develop a renewable energy industry, where we can have some more entrepreneurship in the field of renewable energy, where we can have some more democracy, as it were, in the provision of power, but where we can still make sure that we have a reliable power supply, and where we can make sure that the existing public utility, which is responsible for the reliability of that power supply, remains a viable entity.
And Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Senator Jepter Ince, says the bill is critical to the future development of Barbados' energy sector. He dismissed opposition suggestions that the Barbados Labour Party has led the way with respect to alternative energy.
They fell asleep in the face of rising oil prices in 2004, when oil was $40 a barrel, and they had a chance to bring changes to the energy sector. They did nothing. And Madam President, I always said, if you're going to speak, have your facts. They sat and watched our energy import bill, Madam President, move from 1995, $131 million. And by 2005, it was $569 million.
Opposition Senator Jerome Walcott says the Electric Light and Power Bill is an important piece of legislation. He is pleased that it has reached the Senate. Well, Christmas came early for the winners of MCTV's Christmas Cheer promotion. The two winners, Melissa Blackett and Destry Jones, were presented with 2 bicycles by representatives of MCTV's marketing department. Customer service representative Cheryl Quintin says it's always a pleasure to give back to customers.
We're continuing to spread cheer to our subscribers, and on behalf of MCTV, it gives me great pleasure in presenting this token of our appreciation.
Well, the giving didn't stop there, as Prison Fellowship Barbados was presented with a donation. The funds were collected through another promotion recently at the Colonnade Mall in Bridgetown, where youngsters took pictures with Disney Kids mascot Doki. And this news just coming to hand, a man is currently assisting police with investigations into the shooting of another man at 6 Road St. Philip about 5:15 this afternoon. Police Public Relations Officer Inspector David Welch confirmed that the man, said to be in his 20s, was shot in his back and subsequently taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance. He said the culprits fled the scene in a motor car and police officers were alerted. As a result, officers on patrol stopped a car at Best Road, Lodge Road, Christchurch without incident. Inspector Welch said, contrary to earlier reports, it was not a high-speed chase. We'll bring you more details on this developing story as they come to hand.